Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's time to celebrate. It's time for accolades and jubilation. We shall now begin with the finale of the event, the awards. PMS AIF World has collaborated with IIM-Ahmedabad to design a very sophisticated methodology around risk-adjusted returns. 137 PMSs and 44 AIFs have participated in these awards, and there are 13 award categories that have been thought through, and on the basis of that, 24 awards have been decided, 18 for PMS participants and 6 for AIF participants. This evaluation has been done by second-year students of IIM-Ahmedabad, Siddhant and Pranav, under the guidance of IIM-Ahmedabad Professor and Dean, Mr. Pandey. So let us begin with Crystal Gazing Awards 2024 in collaboration with Beta, the Finance and Investment Club of IIM-Ahmedabad. Now, without gilding the lily any further, I want to straight dive in, ladies and gentlemen, and invite Siddhant and Pranav to explain the full methodology behind these awards. So, Siddhant and Pranav, take it away.
Thank you. So the awards were aimed at recognizing innovation as well as insightful strategies that drive superior returns in the complex financial landscape. Uh, Coming out to objective, the objective was to reward long-term performance of sizable pool of investments with a keen focus on risk-adjusted returns. We also wanted to make sure that the newcomers in the industry are also rewarded and recognized as keeping in mind the changing market dynamics. The priority was also to ensure a sufficient relevant number of funds within each category so as to have a good consideration set on which we can give the on whose basis we can give the awards on. Moving on to the portfolio management services. The methodology revolved around, first of all, a three-step process. If you can go to the next slide. So we use a three-step process wherein the first we categorized broadly into three categories. One was the long-term wealth creation. The second was fastest wealth creation. And third one was short-term wealth creation. Within each of these categories, we had further subcategories wherein we looked at the preferred sector of investments, the AUM, as well as the vintage to categorize funds and come up with a qualified set of funds. Once we have the qualified funds, we want a nomination, wherein we use as absolute CAGR to select approximately top 30 or top 25% of funds that were qualified. Once we have the nominated set of funds, we use risk-adjusted measures like information ratio, alternatively CAGR, to arrive at the winners within each category. Moving on to the categorization, how we went about it. To categorize funds, we chose their preferred sector of investment and came up with a formula to allocate each fund into three broad sectors. So if a particular fund had allocation towards a small cap, which was more than 70% of its overall portfolio, the fund was classified as a pure small cap. Alternatively, if the allocation towards mid cap and small cap category stocks were greater than 60% of the portfolio, the fund was classified as a small and mid cap. And lastly, if the allocation towards mid cap and small cap was less than 60% of the portfolio, the fund was classified as a multi and large cap fund. This approach allowed us to categorize each fund in one of these categories and also looked at this preferred sector of choice of investment. Secondly, we chose information ratio as our choice for measuring risk-adjusted returns, primarily because it takes into account the excess return, keeping in mind the tracking error for each investment for each fund. Because unlike Sharpe ratio, which takes into account risk-free rate, information ratio takes into account the benchmark return, and hence we are able to better evaluate a fund's ability to generate alpha and highlight its skills in stock selection and portfolio construction. Lastly, we chose monthly returns and did not choose rolling returns because rolling returns tend to introduce autocorrelation in the data set when we're looking at from a large data perspective. What it does is it leads to volatility amplification and hence skews the result in either positive or negative direction. And hence we chose monthly returns as the preferred method of choice because it tends to give more accurate returns on long-term horizon. Moving on to the awards. So these gives a broad overview of number of qualified and awarded funds within each category of awards. Just to give a broad overview within each category, there were a total of 137 schemes, and post categorization, these were the number of nominated, qualified, and awarded funds within each category. Moving on to the first award within the long-term wealth creation. Looked at the performance of all the PMS's funds. The qualification criteria was we looked at the fund should be more than 10 years plus vintage and AUM should be greater than 700 crores. Once we arrived at the qualified funds, we looked at for the nomination criteria, we chose 10-year CAGR return. And post that, we arrived at top five funds, which include Girik Multi-Cap Growth Equity Strategy, Nine Rivers Capital Aurum Small Cap Opportunities, Karma Wealth Builder, 361 Multi-Cap, and Alpha Accurate AAA India Opportunity PMS Plan. To award the funds, we looked at 10-year information ratio as the preferred method of choice for risk-adjusted returns.
All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, the nominees have been displayed. Those were our nominees for the best PMS on 10-year performance across all categories on the basis of 10-year information ratio. And so I am pleased to announce to you that there were 3 winners in this category. And I'm going to announce the winners rank-wise in reverse order. So the best PMS on 10-year performance across all categories, rank 3 goes to Alpha Accurate India Opportunity PMS Plan. Congratulations. The best PMS on 10-year performance across all categories, rank 2 goes to Girik Multi-Cap Growth Equity Strategy. Many congratulations. And finally, the best PMS on 10-year performance across all categories, rank 1 goes to Nine Rivers Capital Aurum Small Cap Opportunities. Big congratulations to you, Nine Rivers Capital. So with that, we now progress to the next category.
The next category is multi-cap and large cap category. The qualification criteria was the fund should have 5+ years of vintage and AUM should be greater than 250 crores. For nominations, we looked at 5-year CAGR return and arrived at the top 7 funds, which include Girik Multi-Cap, Sundaram Alternates, Stallion Asset Core Fund, Buoyant Capital Opportunities Scheme, ICICI Prudential PMS Contra Strategy, Master Trust India Growth Strategy, and ITIS Capital Fundamental Value Fund. For awarding within this category, we looked at the 5-year information ratio as a method of choice for risk-adjusted returns.
So those were the nominees for the best PMS on 5-year performance, multi-cap and large cap category on the basis of 5-year information ratio. And I am so happy to announce that there were 2 winners in this category. So the best PMS on 5-year performance, multi-cap and large cap category, rank 2 goes to ICICI Prudential PMS Contra Strategy. And the best PMS on 5-year performance, multi-cap and large cap category, rank 1 goes to Stallion Asset Core Fund. Many congratulations to Stallion Asset Core Fund and ICICI Prudential PMS Contra Strategy. And with that, we now go on to the next category.
The next category is small cap and mid cap category. The qualification criteria was again 5+ years of vintage and AUM should be greater than 250 crores. For nominations, we again looked at 5-year CAGR return and arrived at the top 6 funds, which included ValueQuest Investment Advisors Growth Strategy, ValueQuest Investment Advisors Platinum Strategy, Samiksha India Equity Fund, Green Lantern Capital Growth Fund, Green Portfolio Special Fund, and Negen Capital Special Situations and Technology Fund. For awarding, again, we looked at the 5-year information ratio to award winners within this category.
So those were the nominees for best PMS on 5-year performance, mid-cap and small cap category. And this was also done on the basis of 5-year information ratio. We found 2 winners, ladies and gentlemen, in this category. The best PMS on 5-year performance, mid-cap and small cap category, rank 2 goes to Green Lantern Capital Growth Fund. Congratulations. And best PMS on 5-year performance, mid-cap and small cap category, rank 1 goes to Samiksha India Equity Fund. Many congratulations to our rank 1 holder, Samiksha India Equity Fund, and rank 2 holder, Green Lantern Capital Growth Fund. With that, we progress to the next category.
The next category is pure small cap category. Herein we looked at qualification criteria as 5 years plus vintage and AUM should be greater than 100 crores. For nomination, we again looked at 5-year CAGR returns. The funds nominated are Nine Rivers Capital, Aurum Small Cap Opportunities, Valentis Rising Stars Opportunity Fund, AccuraCap Consultancy Private Limited Pico Power, and Equirius Long Horizon. For awarding, we again looked at a 5-year information ratio.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this category, Best PMS on 5-year performance small cap, out of all those nominees that you just saw, we found only one winner, and clearly they get the rank 1. So the best PMS on 5-year performance small cap category, rank 1, goes to Equirus Long Horizon. Many, many, many congratulations to Equirus Long Horizon. And with that, we now go on to the next category.
The next category of awards deal with small short-term wealth creation. And the first award within this category is multi-cap and large for tailored to multi-cap and large cap category, wherein the qualification criteria was we looked at 3+ years of vintage funds and AUM should be greater than 100 crores. For nominations, we looked at 3-year CAGR returns and arrived at 12 funds which were nominated within this category, which you can see on the slide, which include Greek Multicap, Stallion Asset Core Fund, Alchemy High, Growth Select Stock, Renaissance. Renaissance has 2 funds, India Next Portfolio and Opportunities Portfolio, Buoyant Opportunity Scheme, Alchemy High Growth Select Stock, ICICI Prudential has 3 funds, Abacus All Cap, Invesco India Dawn Portfolio, and Master Trust India Growth Strategy. For awarding, we looked at 3-year information ratio.
All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, in this segment of awards of short-term wealth creation, we begin with multi-cap and large cap category. You just saw the nominees for best PMS on 3-year performance multi-cap and large cap, and we found 2 stellar winners in this category. And the best PMS on 3-year performance multi-cap and large cap rank 2 goes to ICICI Prudential PMS Value Strategy. Many congratulations. And the best PMS on 3-year performance multi-cap and large cap rank 1 goes to Renaissance India Next Portfolio, also on the basis of 3-year information ratio. Congratulations to both our rank 1 holder, Renaissance India, and ICICI Prudential PMS. So with that, we now progress to the next category.
The next category of awards are for small and mid-cap category. Again, the qualification criteria included 3+ years of vintage and AUM greater than 100 crores. For nominations, we again looked at 3-year CAGR return, and we arrived at 10 nominated funds, which include ValueQuest Investment Advisors Growth and Platinum Strategy, Samiksha India Equity Fund, Renaissance Mid-Cap Portfolio, Carnelian Shift Strategy, Green Lantern Capital Growth Fund, INF Asset Growth Fund, Green Portfolio Special Fund, Abacus Emerging Opportunities, and lastly, Neogen Capital Special Situations and Technology Fund. For awarding, we again looked at 3-year information ratio.
And out of all of these nominees, ladies and gentlemen, we found 3 winners in the category Best PMS on 3-year performance mid-cap and small cap on the basis of 3-year information ratio. As we go rank-wise, Best PMS on 3-year performance mid-cap and small cap, rank 3 goes to Carnelian Shift Strategy. Congratulations. The best PMS on 3-year performance mid-cap and small cap, rank 2 goes to Neogen Capital Special Situations and Technology Fund. So congratulations once again to Neogen Capital Special Situations and Technology Fund. And the best PMS on 3-year performance mid-cap and small cap, rank 1 goes to Green Lantern Capital Growth Fund. Congratulations to our rank 1 holder, Green Lantern Capital, rank 2 holder, Neogen Capital, and rank 3, Carnelian. Congratulations to all the winners as we now progress to the next category.
Yeah. So the next category is devoted to the pure small cap funds. The qualification criteria was again 3+ years of vintage and AUM greater than 100 crores. We did the nominations based on the 3-year CAGR return, and we had 5 nominations, namely Roha Emerging Champions Portfolio, 9 Rivers Capital Holdings, Valentis Rising Stars, Electrum Laureate, and ICICI Prudential PMS Pipe Strategy. For selecting the final awards, we used the 3-year information ratio.
So you've seen the nominees who were selected on the basis of 3-year information ratio in the category Best PMS on 3-year performance pure small cap. And ladies and gentlemen, we found 2 winners in this category. Rank 2 for Best PMS on 3-year performance pure small cap goes to ICICI Prudential PMS Pipe Strategy. Many congratulations. And the best PMS on 3-year performance pure small cap category, rank 1 goes to Valentis Rising Stars Opportunity Fund. Many congratulations to Valentis and to ICICI Prudential. Congratulations. Let's go on to the next category.
Again, now we look at multi-cap and large cap category again. but from a even short-term perspective, which is 1 year. So now the qualification criteria was 1+ years of vintage and AUM greater than 100 crores. The nominations this time were done with a 1 year CAGR return, and we had several nominations. Let's go through the list once. We had Greek Multicap Growth Equity. We have Credence Wealth Management All Weather, and we also had Credence Wealth Management Diversified. Then we had Stallion Asset Core Fund, Turtle Wealth Management, Buoyant Opportunities, 361 Phoenix, Chameleon Capital Compounder, ICICI Prudential PMS Contra and PMS Value, Abacus All Cap, Master Trust, and Helios India Rising.
And ladies and gentlemen, out of all those nominees in the category Best PMS on 1 year performance, multi-cap and large cap, on the basis of 1 year information ratio, we actually found one winner. That's right. So the best PMS on 1 year performance, multi-cap and large cap, rank 1 holder, our winner is 361 Phoenix. Congratulations to Team 361 Phoenix. Thank you very much. And now we go on to the next category.
Again, so now we'll look at the small and the mid cap category from the similar 1 year perspective, with qualifications being done based on 1+ years of vintage and AUM greater than 100 crores. Nominations again were done with the viewpoint of a 1 year CAGR return. And we had ValueQuest Investment Advisors, Growth and Platinum Scheme. We had Samiksha India Equity Fund, Motilal AMC, Sage One Core Portfolio, Chameleon Shift Strategy, Green Lantern Capital Growth Fund, Inver Asset Growth Fund, Abacus Emerging Opportunities, Samviti Capital, and Negan Capital Fund. This time we gave the award based on the 1 year information ratio.
So we just heard the award. The nominees also were actually qualified on the basis of 1 year information ratio, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to announce that we found from that long list one winner who is our rank 1 holder for best PMS on 1 year performance small and mid cap category. So the best PMS on 1 year performance small and mid cap rank 1 goes to Green Lantern Capital Growth Fund. Many congratulations to Team Green Lantern. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we now progress to the next segment of awards.
So now we'll look at our next category, which is the fastest wealth creator. So in this particular category, we kind of focused more on the return aspect and less on the risk aspect, since we have already covered many award categories with risk-adjusted return. This time, the qualification this included all the PMS funds, and the qualification criteria was 1+ years of vintage and AUM greater than 100 crores. We did the nominations based on the 1 year CAGR return, which leads us to Roha Emerging Champions Portfolio, Nine Rivers Capital Holding, ValueQuest Investment Advisors, Stallion, Motilal AMC Mid to Mega, Chameleon Shift Strategy, Green Lantern Capital LLP Growth Fund, Inver Asset Growth Fund, ICICI Prudential AMC Pipe Strategy, Samviti. We have two funds from Samviti. One is Aggressive Growth and one is Alpha Multicap. And then we had Ambit Global Private Client Alpha Growth. We awarded this time based on the 1 year CAGR return, and we did not include any element of risk in this because we're focusing mostly on wealth creation.
All right. So as clarified, ladies and gentlemen, the best PMS on 1 year performance was decided on the basis of 1 year CAGR returns. And ladies and gentlemen, we found one winner in this category who holds rank 1. Best PMS on 1 year performance, rank 1 goes to Invasset Growth Fund. Congratulations to Team Invasset. Big congratulations. And we go on to the next segment of awards.
Now that we have given the awards for the portfolio management services category, now we'll look at AIFs, which are alternate investment funds. Firstly, talking a bit about the methodology, our first step was basically to categorize the AIFs. We had 44 AIFs into 3 major broad categories: absolute return hedge fund, equity long short funds, and long only funds. And to do the same, what we did, we calculated the beta with respect to their benchmarks, and we used a cutoff of 0.3 and 0.7. So any fund with a beta less than 0.3 was categorized as an absolute return hedge fund. Between 0.3 and 0.7, we categorized them as equity long short funds, and a beta greater than 0.7 was categorized as a long only fund. And then, similar to PMS, we used a three-stage process to arrive at the winner. First was basically based on qualification, where we used vintage and AUM criteria. Then we looked at nominations, which were done on Kager return, and you selected the top 30% funds for the nominations. And then finally, we looked at winners based on different metrics, which we'll cover in the individual categories. To provide a brief summary of the award categories that we have come up with in this segment, we have three categories: one for the long only funds, one for the equity long short funds, and one for the absolute return hedge funds. Now, coming to our first category of awards, this is for the long only funds. And we use a qualification criteria of 3+ years of vintage and a greater than 200 crore AUM. Now, the nominations again were done on basis of 3-year Kager returns, and we have 5 nominations in this category, namely Abacus Emerging Opportunities Fund 1, Ampersand Growth Opportunities Fund Scheme 1, Alchemy Leaders of Tomorrow, Samviti Capital Alpha Fund, and Alchemy Leaders of Tomorrow Cat 3 AIF. Now, this time we awarded based on 3-year Kager returns. Since long only funds generally have a lock-in period, we felt that risk was not something that was to be taken into account during the awards, and we focused more on the absolute Kager. So yeah, the awards were given basis on the 3-year Kager return.
All right, that has been clarified that the awards were given on the basis of 3-year Kager returns. And you just saw 5 nominees, ladies and gentlemen, in the category Best Long Only AIF on 3-year performance. And we found 2 winners in this category. Rank 2 for Best Long Only AIF on 3-year performance goes to Ampersand Growth Opportunities Fund Scheme 1. Congratulations, Team Ampersand. And the Best Long Only AIF on 3-year performance goes to, ladies and gentlemen, the rank 1 goes to Abacus Emerging Opportunities Fund 1. Congratulations to our rank 1 holder, Team Abacus, and our rank 2 holder, Ampersand. Thank you so much. Congratulations. And with that, we go on to the next segment, the next category.
So now we have finally arrived at our second last category, which is basically equity long short category. The qualifications were done based on 1+ years of vintage and greater than 100 crore AUM. The nominations were done based on 1-year Kager, and we found 3 nominations, namely Volvin Growth Fund, ICICI Prudential Enhanced Dynamic Equity Fund, and ITI Long Short Equity Fund. Now, to give the award in this category, we had to think a lot based on the characteristics of this particular category, where they are investing in long short, but they still have an equity bias. And hence we came up with a different ratio, which we are calling as a blended Sharpe ratio, where we are taking into account the portfolio return and subtracting not only the benchmark return, but also some portion of the risk-free rate to account for all the characteristics of this particular strategy. And hence our final blended ratio is basically portfolio return minus 0.5 into risk-free rate, which we have taken as 7%, minus 0.5 into return of Nifty 50. And we have divided this by portfolio standard deviation. And the awards have been given based on this ratio.
All right, so the criteria has been very clearly described, ladies and gentlemen. So the award for Best Equity Long Short AIF on 1-year performance is up now. The nominees obviously qualified on the basis of blended Sharpe ratio of 1 year. And we found 2 winners in this category. The Best Equity Long Short AIF on 1-year performance, rank 2, goes to ICICI Prudential Enhanced Dynamic Equity Fund. Many congratulations. And Best Equity Long Short AIF on 1-year performance, rank 1 goes to Volvin Growth Fund Active Rabbit. Congratulations, Team Volvin, and congratulations, Team ICICI Prudential. Let's go to the next category, the final one.
Yeah, so we are finally here on the last category, which is the absolute return hedge fund. The qualifications were done based on 1+ years of vintage and greater than 100 crores of AAM. Nominations were done based on 1-year Kager returns, and we have 5 nominations in this category. We have Tata Equity Plus Absolute Returns Fund, Alpha Mine Absolute Return Fund, Whitespace Alpha Fund 2 Debt Plus, Altacura AI Absolute Return Fund, and Tata Absolute Return Fund. The awards in this category were finally given based on the 1-year Sharpe ratio.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the final award. And now I would only request you to make sure that you also indulge in a lot of virtual applauses because that is very important. We have two winners in the category Best Absolute Return Hedge Fund AIF on 1-year performance. And both winners, of course, qualified on the basis of the Sharpe ratio of 1 year. So let me now tell you the ranks. Rank 2 and 1, the Best Absolute Return Hedge Fund AIF on 1-year performance. Rank 2 goes to AlphaMine Absolute Return Fund. Congratulations. And the Best Absolute Return Hedge Fund AIF on 1-year performance. Rank 1 goes to Tata Equity Plus Absolute Returns Fund. Many congratulations to both Rank 1 and Rank 2 holders, Tata Equity Plus Absolute Returns Fund and AlphaMine Absolute Return Fund. And with that, I'd like to thank you very much, Siddhant, for telling us the entire methodology, and Pranav for also being here with us. Congratulations to all the winners once again. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this stellar, this fantastic and splendid Crystal Gazing Awards Ceremony 2024.